Older Americans are amassing more credit card debt to pay for basic living expenses. Are you one of them? Let's talk about this real quick. Nearly half of people over 50 are using their credit card to cover basic living expenses, food, housing, utilities, and healthcare expenses. That's kind of unheard of until recently. 37% are carrying more debt now than they were last year, and half are carrying $5,000 or more month to month. That means they're letting that money roll over and eat up their interest. And 28% are carrying over $10,000 a month in credit card debt. Now, I don't know if you folks understand or know what the recent credit card interest rates are right now, but Forbes keeps track of them and checks them weekly. And the weekly rate this week, ending for 3/4, as in March 4th, was 28.71% average interest rate on a credit card. That's crazy. When you look at the numbers back in November of 24, that average was somewhere around 22.5%. And so that number is up 6%. And if you go on Forbes' website, they list out the rates based on what the average lenders are using. These are not like subpar or sub-credit numbers. These are real numbers for the average guy getting credit that's got decent credit. I don't know what good credit is. We have a members or a credit union credit card, and we qualify for the best rate that they offer, and it's 8.8%. But I still don't carry a balance because it's ridiculous. Somebody taught me a long time ago, one of my financial friends that's worth a lot more money than I'll ever be right now, said that you're not making any real money in your 401ks if you're paying high interest on anything. So if you're paying more than 4 or 5% for a car, if you're paying more than 8, 10, 20, or 12% for credit cards and carrying debt over month to month, you're not really making anything in your 401ks. The S&P averages 10 or 11% a year. You can't, have an interest rate on a credit card at 22%, carry a balance, and then claim that you're making money in your 401k, because you're not. In the long run, you are not. And you're not just paying that 22% one month. You're paying it for every month you carry a balance. So it's something you have to consider. Let me go on with this story, though. Many of the people they polled, between 50 and 64, are saying they're having to decide between carrying the debt or saving to retire. Well, that kind of goes back to what we just spoke about. If you're carrying debt that has a higher interest rate than you're making in your 401k and your assets, you're not really making any money. So smart money would say, pay off the debt, because that way at least what you save is making something. Otherwise, you're really not saving anything and making any real gains toward retirement. And, right now, the way the stock market's reacting to everything, it's down. The S&P is where I keep a lot of my money. Right now, the S&P's down like 6 or 7% in the last week, it seems like. I know it's down almost 3% today. This is Monday, the March 10th. So down almost 3% again, another 3% today. Is it a correction? Is it an overcorrection? Is it long-term? I don't know for sure. I'm no expert, that's for sure. I just kind of try to keep track of my money and see where it's going. So far, I don't consider I've lost too much, because I haven't lost my company's 401k match yet. But I'm certainly not making anything right now. You'd almost be in a better position if you can't save or are trying to save and still carrying debt, to put your money in a high yield savings account or money market account. All right, back to the credit card debt. Over half of the people that were polled said healthcare is the biggest expense. They're paying for medications, healthcare costs, deductibles, etc., using their credit card because they don't have the money to take care of that. Now, if you don't have an HSA account, which I have, there's different ways you can save for those kinds of bills. Typically, if you don't have an HSA, you can have a spending account or a health spending account versus a savings account. Spending meaning at least you can put, the first $2,000 away every year to cover part of your deductible or whatever. And you just have to make sure you use it for health stuff that year. But the fact that people are having to pay all these health care costs out of pocket, mostly because big companies have gone to crappy high deductible insurance plans. Anyway, it sucks to be in a position financially where you have to decide between healthcare expenses and carrying debt and saving to retire. Those of us that are trying to, that are on the runway to get off and retire, it's very disheartening to have to worry about those things. I'm glad I don't have to do that, but make common sense money decisions. Be good with your money, know your budget, stick with your incomes. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.